Hello everyone, and welcome to week 4 of our course, and I'm looking forward to going over with you what you need to do in week 4. It's really romping along. This week we're going to be focusing on middle childhood. Now, I don't know about you guys, but middle childhood is very important for human development. A lot of the clients that I see were hurt in middle school. Yeah, middle school. It's pretty torturous, wasn't it, for a lot of people? They go from like elementary school where they're protected to middle school where they're hurt. In fact, if you go on my internet site, there's some really good research I've accumulated on the topic of bullying. So if you go to counselingforchristians.com and then look under, let's see, be under top links and then under bullying, you're going to find a lot of research on there. That's going to be very helpful. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't see people in my office who were bullied, and that has had long-lasting effects on them. And you see some of the things that are going on with the mass murderers and stuff in our society right now, and a lot of that has to be linked back to bullying and being hurt by other people. So it also is a basis for a lot of personality disorders, the things that happen to you in middle school. I always use this sort of example. Middle school is sort of like a bunch of turtles trying to get out of a glass bowl, and they don't care who they step on, they just step on someone else to be a little bit higher. So there's a lot of hurts there. Maybe some of you had hurts from middle school and messages and toxic messages that were sent to you. So anyway, it's going to be a very fascinating topic. As far as your assignments today, you're going to read this week, read chapters 9 and 10 and take quiz number 4, and also watch 4 presentations. There's a discussion board posting, and that's going to be on, let's see, the topic of plagiarism, and so have a look at that. And I think you'll enjoy discussing that from the point of view of Kohlberg's theory on moral development. You have to put in effort on the postings. Don't just do it. They're 400 words, and then you need the also to make 2 postings after that on replies. And let's see, your annotated bibliography is going to be due this week, and that is the annotation on each of the articles, the 10 articles that you hopefully have accumulated on your research topic. Additional activities. You should have most of the articles that you're looking at going to use in your research paper. You can still be finding more. As you're reading these articles, of course, you can start to formulate the direction of your paper. Remember, your research paper is going to be something that has a flow from beginning to end that logically connects it together. This is not, so you need to look for a thread or a path or an argument through it, and that's discussed in that template for the research article that I gave you. So have a look at that. I don't just want random sentences and random ideas thrown in there. This is a pretty tight document. It's like a recipe for making food. You need to follow the directions. So I need to know where you're going in this paper, what you're doing. So you need to use proper transitions, proper paragraphs, and proper sentences, okay, that are grammatically correct. I've seen some of these papers already, and they're not focusing on grammar. You check it with someone if you have to, but get the grammar correct as well. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about intelligence. As a professor of clinical psychology, I taught techniques of intellectual assessment. So I taught, the WISC and the WACE and all these psychology tests that we used for intelligence. And it's a very controversial topic, that whole idea of intelligence. My children were intellectually gifted, so they all were in special schools for giftedness. But it was very interesting. As a parent, I had to be very careful with that, especially as a Christian parent. And I taught them that these are just gifts that God gave you, and you need to use your gifts. And the important thing was not grades, but it was whether or not you use your gifts. So if they brought papers home that weren't very good, rather than focusing on what they did wrong, I would say, well, are you using your gifts? And let's see what you need to do here. And that's a totally different way of looking at things versus, oh, you got a B, you got a C, you got and focusing on the grades. Remember, that is, in my opinion, that's not the right thing to be doing. It's focusing on whether or not they're using their gifts. They all turned out to be good kids. My daughter was a nurse. She's raising children now. She's a pediatric nurse. My oldest boy is a biomedical engineer, and he did his degree at NC State and then did his master's in engineering at Duke, and he works with pacemakers. And then my younger boy is now in graduate school in law school. So anyway, all of them are working hard and hopefully using their gifts, and that's what I want you to encourage other people to do, even the people who come into your practice. But a lot of what you're going to be doing is trying to help them get over those hurts from middle school. So it's a pretty interesting topic, so pay attention to it. God bless.